These 6 fans all claim to support Arsenal.
But they're not all telling the truth.
At least one of them supports Tottenham.
Can they find the fake fan? Okay, well, let's begin. What's your favourite match between Arsenal and Spurs? Jermaine, let's start with you.
It's got to be the 5-2 games. We played at Emirates 3 times. And back when they had Adebayo, and we had a hatred for Arsenal, had a hatred for him.
Good for you.
Lewis?
I would also go with that 5-2 game. Walk up with a brace as well. Just a nice way to finish him off, really.
Chip, you gonna say 5-2 or?
No, I'm not going to say 5-2. I'm going to say the 4-2. In 2019, I think it was, when the Spurs thought they were going to win it. They came up, there was half-time, they were 2-1 up, and then we went in, Torreira scored that overhead kick. Oh, wonderful.
And I'm going to say the 5-2 as well, unfortunately. It was a good game after that Van Persie goal when he bent it into the corner. Yeah, I know it's the obvious answer because they've said it, but it is the best game we've seen.
For me, it'd be the 3-1 from 2022 for 2 reasons. One, Partey's banger that you could literally see behind the stadium, all of their faces drop. And 2, when Emerson got sent off, you could literally see Harry Kane's face where he's just like, bro, I'm done.
My one would actually be, we didn't actually win the game, but we won the league, 2004. Went 2-0 up early on. Vieira scored the first goal, and then Perez. So, yeah, won the league at White Hart Lane.
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, just to be clear, if somehow you are unaware, Flav is a Spurs fan, so feels very uncomfortable in this scenario.
I'm hating this.
Yes. Okay, let's go to a vote. You have a pen and cards in front of you. If you'd like to write down who you believe to be the fake fan.
Okay, so you've all made your decisions about who you think the fake fan around the table is. Gareth, we'll start with you. If you can turn around your card and tell us who you vote for.
Yeah, don't really have much to go on. If everyone answered quite well, I'm going to go with George, just based on I think everyone else answered theirs a little bit better. More convincing.
Yeah, I went for Chip because it's one game I didn't really remember one. I mentioned an overhead kick in that game. I didn't really remember that too much in that game.
Lewis?
I went with Jermaine, mainly because he said 5-2 before me. That's about it.
You pinched your answer?
Pretty much.
Okay, interesting. Chip?
Well, I went with Gareth only because he said 2-2 and we didn't win that much. I know it was a party afterwards, but it just had to go to someone.
We did win the league, though. George?
I went with Lewis, simply because he had the 5-2 option straight after Jermaine, so it was a fairly easy one to choose.
So we have an unprecedented moment here, a 5-way tie. Ur, you are the only person without a vote. Who are you going to go for?
I have gone for George. If you're bandwagoning off other people's answer, it kind of shows me low confidence. So that's why I went with George.
George, I'm very sad to say that you've been voted out. Can you stand and reveal whether or not you are a true fan or a fake fan?
I couldn't say it convincingly. It hurt saying that. Unfortunately, came
Fair
out.
play, George.
I don't really feel too bad. I don't want to be known as an Arsenal fan, so better they know me as a Spurs fan earlier than later. I was looking around. I think Jermaine could be potentially. He did look a bit nervous, and so I'd probably go at Jermaine, but yeah.
Congratulations, lads. You found a fake fan. That means that the prize fund, courtesy of that prize guy, stays at £5,000. Okay, now let's move into round 2.
All right, an easy one for you boys. What do you respect most about Tottenham Hotspur?
What I would say is, in terms of derbies, like you look at Liverpool and Everton. Liverpool's going for league, they've got Everton. Spurs and Arsenal, Chelsea, a lot of hard games amongst each other. The Arsenal and Spurs games are usually pretty good, loads of goals. So both teams always turn up for the derbies, no matter how good or bad they're doing in the league.
Anyone agree with that?
No, not at all.
Why not, Lewis?
Prefer them just to not be competitive so we can just destroy them on a regular basis, which kind of been my dreams, but sure.
So what do you respect the most, I suppose?
I don't really, but I suppose the ability somehow for a Spurs fan to then end up posting something like this. No offence.
Well, I could take offence to that, mate. I've got to.
So, I've been trying to think what I got to respect about Tottenham fans. I'll tell you what it is. Not a lot, but I think it's resilience to stay under our shadow all the flipping time. I mean, they always, Arsenal, here they win. It's just so funny. And the funny thing about it, they win a match, they think they won the World Cup. But if you go into their trophy cabinet, is there such thing there? Woo! Nothing. Dust.
Okay, let's get back to the question here, because you should be able to find something. Let's put the bravado down for a second.
They've done well with Harry Kane all over the years, scoring that many goals. That's the only thing.
And did what with it though?
Sorry?
And did what came out of
I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, they're a Banner FC for me, so.
I mean, I've got my answer. Long live Enoch, long live Levy. Such great owners, such business, they're so business centric. Look how they've made to the stadium. They're pumping out money. I really don't think that they should change ownership. That's what I love about that club. That's what I'm trying to say. That make sure Enoch stays at that club because they know the vision for that club.
Okay then, I've got to be honest. I feel like there are a few people who understand the game and are maybe hiding in the hatred here a little bit.
Doubling down.
Yeah.
And hiding in that, maybe.
It's good strategy. It's good strategy.
Good work.
Okay, you have found a fake fan. Quite possibly, there is absolutely no one here who is a Tottenham fan. So what I want you to do is grab your glasses. And if the majority of you believe that there are no more Tottenham fans amongst you and that you found the fake fan, I want you to raise your glass at the count of 3. But if you have any suspicions and think that there is still another fake fan amongst you, then keep your glass down. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
We go again.
You've decided not to end the game. You believe there is a fake fan amongst you. That means it's time to vote.
You've made your votes. Jermaine, let's start with you.
I went for Gareth. The reason why I went for Gareth is because we were debating, everyone was debating, and he kind of just basically went quiet, didn't really engage with the conversation, kind of very passive and just basically not looking at giving us eye contact.
I went for Chip. Probably the opposite to why Jermaine voted for myself. I thought Chip was probably saying a bit too much. So that's the reason why I went for that.
Upsetting, isn't it? Upsetting.
Kind of the same decision of Jermaine, but I went for Lewis. I could be totally off with this, but this is just small hints of the same thinking of confidence levels. When George was voted out, I also quickly looked at everyone's reaction, and Lewis was the only one that had the kind of the smallest reaction to it in a sense per se.
Thoughts, Lewis?
You are completely wrong. Also, Jermaine has said that he didn't talk too much, which was the reason why, but sure.
You seem fine with it.
Yeah.
Chip.
Well, I tell you what, I voted for Jermaine. He didn't remember Torreira's goal on a 4-2 win. And that is a bit of a, because it was such a wonderful goal. I mean, he hasn't scored that many goals, Torreira, and he's had a bad time until then. And all of a sudden, he can't remember that.
Okay, so there's a 4-way split. Lewis, you have the deciding vote. Who have you voted for, and is that person fake fan?
Could have made it a 5-way split, couldn't I? But I also went with Gareth. Same reason, we were all talking, enjoying taking the mick out of Spurs, and you didn't really seem like you wanted to join in on that. Could be completely wrong, but it was very quiet.
Well, we've seen quiet fans get all the way to the end and win this before. Trust us. Gareth, do you want to stand up and reveal whether or not you are a fake fan or a real fan?
Disappointed, but the way I went out was probably the way it was going to happen, where they were all bashing Spurs. I just couldn't join in on that. I kind of thought, because obviously the suspense there, it came down to the last vote. I kind of thought that made me question, is one of them fake? And I think maybe one of the other guys could have been onto something. I think maybe Lewis was. He just came across a bit shifty.
Okay, another unique game. I don't want to do a pun here, but the Gunners have knocked down 2, bang bang so far. This is pretty impressive stuff. But you are all smiling right now, but the game's not over. And I've got to say, this is probably the most confident table I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But there are 4 of you here. Do you really think there's not another fake fan amongst you?
There is $5,000 in the pot. Big money. Are you really confident that there isn't someone around this table that is Spurs?
Okay.
Let's get into round 3, Jim.
Yes, okay. So another chance for you guys to get a bit more information, but as I say, who's hiding in plain sight here? Who's a little bit too confident? So the question is, which Spurs player have you hated the most?
Adebayo, all the way. Adebayo. What he did at City to us and Spurs, Adebayo.
Should I add one to you onto the same type of topic? Chadley.
That's it, Chadley?
Yep, because you know exactly why. Because of which game that he absolutely removed us from.
Literally the last player I thought was going to hit.
I was going to say, because for one reason, because that game we were in a fighting chance of winning as well, and then Nasser Chadley turned that whole game around, and that for me has always been like venom in my heart.
It's what's his name? He's called Bender. No, not Bender. Sorry, not Bender. No. Sorry. This is gonna cost me now.
What position did he play?
No, it was a forward. Bentley. Sorry,
Yeah,
Bentley.
Sorry,
School name.
David Bentley.
Yeah, that's an old school name.
Bentley.
In the game at the Emirates when he scored that long
Yeah,
range.
it was just like, oh, and then you only celebrated as well.
But I've got one question in the sense of these answers. Wouldn't you say Adebayor's more hated stint came with what he did at Man City?
The thing what Adebayo did, he went to City, mugged us off,
100%.
and then mugged us off further with Spurs. Like, it's just...
They went Madrid and then City, and then went.
he's in Madrid, all the cave, he's in Madrid.
Yeah.
He's gone to City,
Yeah.
celebrated in front of like he's some big man, and then Spurs as well, thinking he's like, come on.
So Jermaine, you haven't said a player yet. Who's your most hated Spurs player?
Well, everyone's gone for Adebayo, and that could be a bit obvious. What? Well, yeah, some people gone for Adebayo. But there's one game that stood out for me. I won't say, I could say I hate him, but when we played them at the Emirates and they beat us, and Yunus Kabul scored a goal. Scored the winner.
Ooh, nice,
And if that for me kind of made me hate him and Tottenham even more.
Do you remember Naeem, what he did to us?
Oh yeah.
Of course you do. Yeah, I mean, but then again, he wasn't playing for Spurs, so he didn't win anything with them, so that's why. But
Who was he playing against? For?
Pardon?
Who was he playing for?
Who beat us? Seville? Was it Seville? I think it was Seville.
Real Zaragoza.
Well, it's a Spanish team, but I do remember the goal and how he
Quite a big game, that one, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Cup Winners' Cup final.
Yeah.
So a couple of interesting things for me. I think Chip didn't know who Arsenal lost to in the Cup Winners' Cup final there. Doesn't seem to think that the history of his own club is important to know, because you didn't know the answer to that one either, did you?
The club.
The Cup Winners' Cup final.
That was before I was born.
Oh, I know. QPR finished second in 1976. I know that.
I mean, my surprise was the Chadley answer. That was a niche. I never.
It's more vim and venom that I have for that player.
So it's gone very well in terms of finding fake fans up to now, but there could still be one amongst you. But you can, if you believe that there are no Tottenham fans at the table, you can end the game right now. So grab the glass in front of you, and if the majority of you all believe that there are no Tottenham fans, that you've found the fake fans, you can end the game right now.
Split the money.
But if there is still a fake fan amongst you, that person will take all the money.
3, 2, 1.
Oh!
That's not a majority.
Wow, you have failed to reach a majority 50-50 split. That's not enough. That's not a majority, so we go to a vote.
Let's start with you.
I went with John and the Chip. But my guess being just because of one thing, it's more towards the older generation answers compared to newer generation answers, maybe the only thing. And the fact that Jermaine has called him out once or twice.
Lewis, can you reveal your vote, please?
I went for Jermaine. I felt it was similar to what you yourself was saying, but I actually thought the reverse. I felt it was a bit strange that some of the facts from so long ago that Chip could remember, that Jermaine somehow, as being a young lad himself, could somehow know about, as if he'd spent some time researching it and trying to remember stuff.
Jermaine, who have you voted for?
Yeah, I've voted for Chip. But just not knowing that game, you mentioned Naeem, and then he didn't know the team obviously we're playing against, so that was for me kind of was thinking of that. I'm not too sure about that because I still hate the team.
It was on about the player, not the team.
I know.
And there are so many Spanish teams. Oh my gosh, what an offense.
So we're at a position where Chip has 2 votes, Jermaine has 1, but the vote remains with Chip. Who have you gone for?
Jermaine.
Wow.
You're not convincing me. I mean, there are little things there which is giving me like Spurs. I might regret that, but it just, you know how the race is right now.
We're in a situation now where it's down to us, James and I, whether or not one of you is a Spurs fan and one of you is an Arsenal fan.
This is just the general rant. Like, if in any final, regardless of what year it is, I feel like you've got to know, and this is for everyone, you've got to know who you've lost against. I can't get past Chip not knowing Real Zaragoza. I can't. I might be wrong.
I mean,
I think Chip knows a lot for sure.
Jermaine's been very quiet, but Chip, you've got to know who you beat in the final of a European competition. You don't win any.
It's a really good
coming
point.
from you.
Well, no, that's a really good point. That is a good point. When it comes to European finals,
Lewis, you don't win any. So Chip, it's got to be you. I'm sorry, mate.
That's okay.
yeah, you could have ended the game. You decided not to. We've had to decide to end your game. Chip, can you stand up and let us know if you are a real fan or if you are a fake fan?
Please. Sorry.
Sorry, Chip.
Come on, you guys! As I go closer to the final, it makes it a lot harder, but also I had a great time. And I'm only now hoping that the guys who are going to get the prize, they're going to be Arsenal fans. I suspected Jermaine to be from the beginning. I think I was pretty right with Gareth from the start. He just his demeanour, it looked like Spursy.
Right, guys, I'm really, really sorry. The prize fund has now gone down from £5,000 to £3,800 because, well, I got it wrong. But we now step into the next round.
One question for one other contestant. You can ask whatever you like.
So I just want to ask Jermaine, just a 50-50 question. Before we were signed by Adidas as our kit sponsor, was we signed by Nike or Reebok?
Nike.
It was Puma.
Puma.
It was a fake question just to see, because that kit was famous because I remember because of Alexis Sanchez's yellow kit, and that was a Puma shirt. So I don't want to.
It was a loaded question, though, wasn't it?
It was a loaded question. It was an evil question. But if you said Puma instantly, if you said to me, it's none of the 50-50, then it would immediately.
You know why I probably said Nike? Because growing up in that era as a kid, when we had JVC, we were Nike.
So you're willing to be evil in this game?
It's more just confirmation, because at least at that point, if you said to me, hey, it's none of those, I would immediately knew in the top of my head, okay.
It was also a trick question.
It was a trick. It was a very evil question. Don't get me wrong.
Hang on.
Yeah,
So
good question. Yeah.
it was a trick question, and you could have tripped up one of your own.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next to you. Favourite player all time, and why?
Santi Cazorla. For someone because when I was in primary and secondary school, I was really short and kind of made fun of a lot. And watching Santi Cazorla every week kind of gave me a glimpse into, hey, if he can play football, I can play football. So I know a lot of people will say icons, but for me, that has been my icon.
Okay, interesting.
Sorry, Lewis, you got some thoughts there?
Yeah, I liked the initial answer, but the explanation behind it surprised me.
Jermaine, once again, you sort of waited in the wings a little bit, been a bit quiet, but now's your time to shine. You got a question?
Yeah, I've got a question for Uwe. Dennis Bergkamp's first goal for Arsenal, who was it against? At Highbury.
I couldn't tell you that, I'm sorry. That's a bit far back in the memory for me to know.
Jermaine, do you know the answer?
Yeah, it's against Southampton.
Is it just a proper, true Arsenal fan, or is it just someone that's so good at research? Oof.
Right, let's go to the end game vote. Grab your glasses if you want to end the game right now, because you believe there are no fake fans remaining. I want you to raise your glass on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's a majority.
It is a majority. That's a majority. Lewis, did you just say something there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I messed up on that one because it didn't look like people were going to pick up. I had a kind of last minute change and did, and it felt like that Jermaine lifted his glass up only when he saw I lift my glass up. So I feel like he...
Yeah, 0 take backsies, I'm afraid.
So we've decided to end the game. We've had a majority decision here.
Okay, there will be no more voting.
It's done. Guys, you're playing for £3,800 courtesy of that prize guy.
So it's all very simple. If you're all Arsenal fans, you split the money. But if one of you is a fake fan, not just that, a Tottenham fan, your rival, they will take home all of the money. Or, if you'd like to stand up and reveal if you are a fake fan or a true fan. He's a true Arsenal fan. Okay, Lewis, stand up and reveal if you are a fake fan or a true Arsenal fan. Oh, he's true as well. Okay.
Never in doubt.
It's all looking good. Smiles for Ur and Lewis, but we of course have one contestant remaining. The final contestant, Jermaine, please stand up. Let us know if you are a true fan or a winning fake fan.
I'm happy. I wasn't too sure at first, but yeah, these guys good lads, and I'm happy that we all won.
Yeah, I was quite scared at the end, lifting that glass up, thinking, oh, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm glad we did at the end. I'm loving it.
I'm happy that these two actually did pick up the glass because all of us are fans and we all go with a three-way split.
Come on, you Gooners!
These 6 fans all claim to support Liverpool.
But they're not all telling the truth.
At least one of them secretly supports Manchester United.
Can they find the fake fan?